Welcome to the video on solving inequalities. So today we're going to look at the steps that we need to solve inequalities. They're very similar to how we solve equations. We're still going to put our line down the inequality symbol now, and we're going to make sure that whatever we do to one side, we do to the other to keep it balanced. So they're treated very similar to these equations. The new thing here is we have to worry about graphing. When we graph on a number line, we need to do a few things. We need to figure out what our answer is and put that in the middle of our graph. And then we need to worry about if it's included or not included. So we use an open circle for when it is not included. That means just less than or just greater than. We use a closed circle when it's included, so less than or equal to and greater than or equal to. So on the line, I need you to write open for less than or greater than, and that's less than and greater than, and that's when we have the open circle. Closed circle, filling in the circle, for less than or equal to and greater than or equal to. Then we have to worry about which way we shade. So we draw an arrow to the left for less than or equal to. Now, it's important to remember that the x has to be first for that to be true. So we shade, if x is first, x is less than, so those numbers are to the left of a number line. And then if it's greater than, x is greater than, or x is greater than or equal to, we draw an arrow to the right. Okay, so let's try an example together. Okay, so the line down the inequality sign, I have the 5x plus 2 is greater than 32. I want the x by itself. If I think to myself, what's happening to the x? The x is being multiplied by 5 and adding 2. So we're going to do the opposite in the opposite order. So instead of having this plus 2, we're going to subtract 2 from both sides. And when we subtract 2 on the left-hand side, 2 minus 2 is 0, so those cancel out. And then we're left with just the 5x on the left side. On the right side, we have 32 minus 2. 32 minus 2 is 30, so then we're going to have a 30 on the right-hand side. We could bring down the inequality symbol if we wanted. I usually bring it back at the end, but if you wanted to bring it down at each step, you could do that as well. So now, to get the x by itself, x is being multiplied by 5. So to undo multiplied by 5, the opposite would be to divide by 5. So then on the left side, 5 divided by 5, anything divided by itself, is 1. So the 5 over 5 will cancel. So on the left side, I'm just left with my x. This is the point where we will need to put our inequality. So I'm just going to bring down the inequality was greater than. So x is greater than. And then 30 divided by 5 is 6. So my answer for the inequality is x is greater than 6. But now we have to worry about graphing. So go ahead and circle the answer, x is greater than 6. But now we have to graph it. So to graph, we're going to put the answer in the middle. And then you want to put at least 3 up and 3 down on each side. So you can see with my number line here, the 6 is in the middle-ish. And then I counted down 3, so 5, 4, 3, and up 3, 7, 8, 9. So my number line has to accommodate whatever my answer is over here. So that's why I put the 6 in the middle. I always put my answer in the middle, and then I shade so I can see where some of the answers are. What kind of circle would we use for x is greater than 6? Well, greater than, if I remember greater than, I think less writing in the inequality means less writing on the graph. That helps me remember that it's open. So the open circle is used for just plain old less than or just plain old greater than. So I'm going to put an open circle on the 6. And then I need to figure out which way to shade. Well, x is greater than 6. So I need to shade answers that are greater than 6. If I look, it looks like 7, 8, 9 are greater than 6. You can also remember that trick of if the x is first, we're going to shade to the right when it's greater than or equal to. So you can see now I've shaded all the answers, all the numbers to the right, and I have the arrow filled in for that one. Okay, let's try number 2. So first step again, draw that line down the middle. And that line helps us to stay organized, so what we do to one side, we do to the other. So when I look at what's happening to the x, it's being multiplied by 4 and adding 10. So to undo it, we do the opposite in the opposite order. So we subtract the 10 first. We subtract that from both sides. And then when I look, I have the 10 minus 10 cancels, that's 0, so I'm left with 4x on the left. Negative 10 minus 10 gives me a negative 20 on the right. And then I need to get the x by itself. It's being multiplied by the 4, so to undo multiplication, we're going to divide both sides of the equation by the 4. 4 divided by 4 will cancel, that's 1, so then we're just left with an x on the left side. And then a negative 20 divided by 4 gives me a negative 5. So then we bring down the inequality. So x is less than or equal to that negative 5. And then that's our answer. So now for number 2 on the number line, I have to plot these numbers. Now remember negatives when we talk about negative 5 being in the middle. Less than negative 5 would be negative 6, negative 7, negative 8, because those numbers having a bigger dot actually means we have less. So those are less numbers. So when we fill this in, my smallest is actually going to be a negative 8, and then negative 7, negative 6, and negative 5 being our answer right in the middle, and then negative 4, negative 3, negative 2. Now I need to worry about what type of circle to use. Since it's a less than or equal to, that means that we're going to have a filled in dot on that negative 5, and then since x is less than or equal to, that means we're going to shade to the left, the numbers that are less than or equal to negative 5. And that's our graph showing that we're shading to the left, and that arrow shows that it'll keep going to the left forever. Okay, let's try another example. Okay, so for the next one, we're going to start the same way. We're going to draw our line down the inequality sign. And when I look at the variable, x is being divided by 5 and then adding 6. So we're going to do the opposite in the opposite order. So instead of adding 6, we're going to subtract 6 from both sides. And when we do that, 6 and negative 6 cancel, so we're left with the x divided by 5 on the left. And then on the right side, we have negative 2 minus 6, which gives us a negative 8. So now to get the x by itself, I'm going to put parentheses around the fraction to show our times 5 on both sides. I put parentheses around them. Anything divided by itself is 1, so on the left side here I can see a 5, which multiplied by 5 is the opposite of dividing by 5, so those will cancel out, and I'm left with just an x on the left-hand side. And then negative 8 times 5 gives me negative 40. So my answer is x is greater than or equal to negative 40. So now when I look at my inequality to graph this, we're going to put the negative 40 right in the middle of our inequality line, or our number line on the right side, and then we're going to go 3 up and 3 down. So my graph will be starting at a negative 43, negative 42, negative 41, so then I can see that negative 40 right in the middle, and then negative 39, negative 38, and negative 37. So now to make sure that we have the inequality, we're going to use what type of circle? So remember, it's more writing in the answer means more writing on the graph. So I'm going to use a closed dot because when I look, this says that it can be greater than or equal to negative 40. So my negative 40 is included in my answer set. And then we shade it to the right, showing that it'll be all those numbers that are greater than or equal to the negative 40. So remember, when we have these negatives, they kind of do the opposite of what we think as a reminder. So the numbers that are going to the right, they're actually bigger. The absolute value is less. So those are sometimes confusing. So remembering negative 40, better than being in debt $40 is being in debt $39 because it means I owe a little less money. So that's how we can think of our negatives. Okay, so just kind of to check in, make sure that you're listening while you're watching this video, I'd like you to put a heart around the number 3 on the inequality side of this graph. So the number 3 that's showing up in the left side of this graph, I want you to put a heart around that number 3. All right, let's try the next one. Okay, so for number 4, we're going to again start by putting the line down the inequality. And remember, we do that to help remind ourselves to keep it balanced on both sides. When I do something to the left side, we have to do it to the right as well. So what's happening to the x here? It's being multiplied by 3, and then we have a subtracting 3. So to get x by itself, do the opposite in the opposite order. So instead of having that minus 3, I'm going to add 3 to both sides.
And then the -3 and +3 will cancel. That means it's 0. So on the left side, I'm left with the 3x. And then on the right side, 9 plus 3 is 12. And then to get x by itself, it's connected with multiplication. So the opposite would be to divide both sides by 3. 3 divided by 3 cancels. So on the left, I'm left with the x. Bring down my inequality is less than. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So my answer to this question is x is less than 4. So on my number line, that 4 is going to go in the middle, and we're going to go 3 up and 3 down. So it's going to look like, starting on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So because in my inequality, it's just x is less than 4, are we going to use an open or a closed circle? What do you think? Open or closed? Well, it's going to be open because x is just less than 4, which means it can't be 4. It's not included. And then because it's less than, it means we're going to shade to the left, with our arrow showing that it's going to continue going left forever. Okay, let's try number 5. So again, I'll start with that line down the inequality. X is being divided by 6 and then subtracting 5. So the opposite in the opposite order. So instead of that subtracting 5, we're going to add 5 to both sides. So then we have the -5 plus 5 will cancel. On the left side, I'm left with x divided by 6. And then on the right, -7 plus 5 gives me that -2. And then notice that I brought down the inequality with me just to kind of remind myself that I still have this inequality. I don't all of a sudden make it become an equation. It's important to make it remain an inequality. Okay, so now x is being divided by 6, so the opposite of dividing by 6 would be to multiply by 6. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 6. So on the left side, 6 in the top, 6 in the bottom will cancel. Then I'm left with the x on the left side. So the x is less than, and then -2 times 6 is a -12. So my answer for the inequality part is that x is less than -12. So now for this one, notice that we don't have a graph. Instead, they want us to choose which set of numbers would make the inequality true in this number 5. So when I look at these answers, I need to think to myself, would they be in the graph? So if it helps, you could add a number line and give yourself a graph to picture what this looks like. I'm going to think to myself, okay, I need numbers that are less than -12. When I look through my answer choices, if it has to be less than -12, well, I see -12 is in choice A and choice D. But -12, it's supposed to be less than -12. So that means that -12 cannot be included in my solution. So that means I'm going to cross out the A and the D because A and D both include -12, and -12 cannot be included. So the reason I cross these out is because of that -12 in those two answers, which cannot be included. So now the question is, which of these two choices in the middle include numbers that are actually less than -12? Well, I think to myself, what's worse than being in debt $12? So worse than being in debt $12 would actually be to have a higher amount of debt. So the answer for this one is -13, -14, and -15. And that's because they are actually less than -12. And that's a tricky concept because we think to ourselves -11, -10, and -9, the absolute value of those is different, and that kind of confuses us a little bit because less than -12 is actually like a bigger absolute value. So that's kind of confusing, but B is the correct answer for that because these numbers are actually greater than -12. All right, so hopefully that video helped you to understand inequalities. The homework for tonight is to finish the ant worksheet on your own to give yourself some practice and use this to help you answer those questions. And we'll be able to go over those and check them tomorrow. Have a good one.